যাচ্ছি। Namaskar and welcome everybody. It's a great honor from AnandaUtsav Cultural Association or AnandaUtsav Durga Pujo today to bring to you a very unique conversation from another or two very unique women across the globe. আমরা জেনারেলি অনেক ধরনের জিনিস নিয়ে কথা বলে থাকি অ্যান্ড বিকজ উই আর উইমেন রান দুর্গা পুজো আমরা অবভিয়াসলি একটু ভাবি যে ওয়ের ক্যান উই find some unique or unheard of things that are being done by women of today, and which is why we actually reached out and we got connected to some very very interesting and exciting set of women from USA and from California, and two of them we have today here with us on a very special episode where we are going to talk about breaking stereotypes, doing something new, thinking the new, and a lot around that. So, Ami Shalini, and with me I have my dear friend and a founder of this Pujo, Aditi Mukherjee. And I want, let me get into a gallery mode so that all of us can be seen. And I have two very, very special guests. But I think before that, let me ask Aditi to introduce our guests.
So, hi everyone. I'm really feeling a little different because I'm introducing somebody who's known to me personally, but she's my Pishi. But at the same time, she has her own identity. She is a very accomplished woman. And, for many things, I have looked up to her to set direction, thinking differently and always questioning the status quo because she's never allowed us to think anything else. So I'm very happy to introduce Mitra Nag. Mitra is a very, very accomplished lady. Mitra and Shopon Nag, they moved to US in 1984. Since then, they have, they set up their own software engineering systems company called Nag Incorporated, which also gave employment to many, many Americans at its peak of its business. And another thing which is very interesting about Mitra is that she's been part of several Bengali California Association communities and held very, very important role in those executive committees. And I really feel happy to say that, that I'm getting this honor to kind of having a very official kind of an interaction with her on behalf of AnandaUtsav. And very recently, Mitra retired as an assistant director of Pomona Liberal Arts College. So Shalini, this is a little bit about her, and I'm sure.
I think it is absolutely wonderful, Aditi, that we are able to connect with such an accomplished, personality through you. And somebody, this is like somebody je actually amrao ekhon to probashe achi amra all of us have really moved out of Calcutta and amra onek din dhore ekhon Mumbai te achi. Similarly, we are getting connected to two such wonderful women today, and one of them is of course Mitra Di, and from Los Angeles. So while it is night there, amra ekhane, of course it is morning for us here. It's very, very exciting. Welcome, namaskar, and wonderful to have you, Mitra Di.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thanks to be the part of this AnandaUtsav. When Aditi told me that she has started something like this, and that thrilled me. That all women run AnandaUtsav, which is I'm very, very proud of you guys. Tarpore amake o jokhon bollo, and I thought like okay, the best part, I didn't think of myself. I thought of Mandavi because Mandavi did a unique thing. When in 2017, she told me that Papa Mashi, I'm going to be an assistant priest at the Durga Pujo, which is unheard of. May একটা Durga Pujo korbe. And let me tell you about Mandavi Chatterjee Chattopadhyay. Actually, she is a niece of my father's best friend, granddaughter of my father's best friend. So she's become my niece here. She said, oh, absolutely. And she was very happy that I sent that. So this is Mandavi. Mandavi, you can talk about yourself a little bit.
Yes, Mandavi, please.
Oh, thank you so much for having me in this wonderful forum. And like Papa Mashi, I'm really, really proud that it's all that you've organized this all women pujo. It's about time we did more than what is perceived from women. So a little bit about me. আমি এই থাউজেন্ড ওকস ক্যালিফোর্নিয়াতে থাকি। আমি এখানে ক্যাল স্টেট ইউনিভার্সিটিতে মাল্টিকালচারাল ড্রিম সেন্টারে ইনক্লুসিভ স্টুডেন্ট সার্ভিসেস এ কাজ করছি এবং আই এম ডুইং অ্যানাদার মাস্টার্স অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইন কলেজ কাউন্সেলিং রাইট নাও।
So to come back and to just inform everybody that we have a priestess among us, amongst us today, which is why we are very excited, because at AnandaUtsav we believe that women need to take up larger roles. Women can take up greater roles in the society. They have been doing some. They have probably just not taken up on their own. And more initiatives can be perhaps, led by women, which is why when we discovered a priestess, from California through Mitra Nag and of course through Aditi, we were very excited to actually have her on our show to have a little bit of a chat, understanding how did she think about this. And I think this year you will all agree Pujo is onnorakom, right? Pujo is different, which is why amra aro bhablam, why not have an adda with more Probashi Bangalis across the globe and actually get to know what is happening at your end. How are you doing Durga Pujo? What is the plan? How is the mood? And things like that. So in that context, we're all here, and that is very exciting for all of us. So I really want to ask, Mandavi, how did this all start? And if you could really tell us what inspired you to really take up something as probably know a little bit of the Vedas and and the Sanskrit hymns. How did you connect with this, and how did it all start?
Thank you so much for the question. So like many of us growing up in India, we are used to growing up with certain rituals in terms of pujo. And আমাদের বাড়িতেও পুজো আচ্চা খুব হতো, নিয়মিত পুজো হতো। So I grew up with pujo, but pujo was that ওই অঞ্জলি দিয়ে পালিয়ে আসা। তো সুতরাং ওই it was never, you never really spend too much time. আর বয়সটাও অল্প ছিল, ওই ইচ্ছেটাও সেরকম ছিল না। কিন্তু যখন ইন্ডিয়া থেকে এখানে এলাম এবং তখন ওই যখন যা হয় দেশ থেকে চলে আসলে দেশের ঐতিহ্য আমাদের খুব মনে পড়ে এবং মনে হয় যে যখন কেউ জিজ্ঞেস করে তখন মানে খুব বোস্টফুলি বলতে ইচ্ছে করে, রাইট? And then that was a time, so that was a time when I realized that I really didn't know much about Hinduism at all. যদিও আমাদের regularly পুজো আচ্চা হতো, কিন্তু আমাদের ধর্মটা কি, what are the intrinsic elements?
In fact, I would also add here যে আমরা যখন পুজো শুরু করি অদিতি, আমরা যতটা মুম্বাইতে পুজো নিয়ে ইনভলভ হয়েছি, আমরা ছোটবেলায় কোনোদিন অতটা জানতামই না।
কলকাতায় পুজো ছিল মানে আমাদের মানে ডালিয়ার মানে যত how many pandals you hopped, কোথায় কোথায় you had দেখা, and what all you did, that was all. It was nothing all about rituals.
মানে পুজোর ডিটেইলস আমরা বোধহয় জেনেছি ভালো করে since we've started everything on our own. And I think you're absolutely right. সেটা বোধহয় প্রবাসী থেকে হয়তো আরো বেটার হয়, মানে I don't know. I'm just adding that.
সেই কারণ আমার মনে হয় social aspect was much bigger for us than the actual spiritual or the religious understanding, right? So যখন এখানে আসলাম তো তখন ওই যখন I kind of delved into Hinduism a little bit, and I think that was a time when I started reading a little bit, not official scriptures but just reading about Hinduism, রামকৃষ্ণদেবের ক্রিস্টোফার শেরউডের বই এই সবগুলো যখন পড়তে শুরু করলাম তখন I kind of veered towards Advaita Vedanta, so that was kind of it was a really fulfilling feeling to understand
আমাদের. Tell me, did your education also play a role somewhere, or the work that you were really doing or you are doing in your college, did that have any connection in arousing?
No, it wasn't. It was it was a completely separate. I just developed an interest because I think ওই হয় না যখন একটা kind of like a spiritual awakening হয়.
Calling.
A little bit, when you get, তোমরাও দেখবে যখন যে তোমরা পুজো করছো তখন when you kind of get into the depths of things, you find it in a new way, you discover it in a new way. Right, so সেটাই হচ্ছিল এবং তারপরে তো সেইরকম ভাবে যখন ওই নানান রকম আলোচনা হতো, ডিসকাশন হতো, তারপর সেখান থেকে ওই দুর্গাপুজোর কথা শুরু হলো। তো ওই দুর্গাপুজোর কথা যেটা হলো যখন আমাদের এরকম আলোচনা এইসব হচ্ছে, যে তখন আমাদের এক ফ্যামিলি ফ্রেন্ড ডক্টর উৎপল ব্যানার্জি, উনি পুজো করতেন বেঙ্গলি অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ সাউদার্ন ক্যালিফোর্নিয়া। উনি মানে খুবই ডিস্টিংগুইশড একজন সায়েন্টিস্ট, মেম্বার অফ ন্যাশনাল একাডেমি অফ সায়েন্সেস, বাট হি অলসো অফিশিয়েটেড দ্য পুজো অ্যাট বেঙ্গলি অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ সাউদার্ন ক্যালিফোর্নিয়া। সো ওনার সাথে অনেক সময় এই আলোচনা হতো। তখন উনি একবার বললেন, মান্ডবী, why don't you come and officiate the pujo with me? আমি তো তখন কি বলছেন, I mean what is that? তখন বললো যে না, it's time that women step up, and just it's time that we kind of break the barriers and make a statement that this is what what should be done in some
I think it has to be initiated by the men, which is very interesting that you've been invited by Dr. Utpal Banerjee.
In fact,
উনি আর এবং ওনার স্ত্রীও, তো যাই হোক, তো ওরা যখন বললেন তখন and I said, okay, let me think about it. This is like a huge step.
Responsibility also.
তখন পাপা মাসিকেও আমি I told her, should I be doing this?
I said it's not only a huge step, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
So,
lot of work.
In fact, if I were to pause for 1 minute and just step, if you want to step back and really think, what were the feelings that you were going through at that point of time? That is extremely important because when you are doing something which has not been done before, there are a lot of expectations that get built.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I just want you to just stress a little bit about that.
তো আমি সেটা বলবো, যখন আমাকে সেটা বললেন তখন আমার there were three things. First of all, there are তোমরা তো জানো যে পুজো করছো, যে দুর্গা পুজো is not a simple affair, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge undertaking. The intricacies and the complexities of pujo are huge. It involves Sanskrit slokas. It involves various ritualistic things that I didn't know of. So the complexities were huge. Number one. And number two, I didn't know Sanskrit. So now that was another huge challenge. And number three, of course, is this big thing that this would be a huge social statement. There would be repercussions, and whether I would be ready for that. I would be ready to to take on that kind of repercussions. And that is when I think Papa Mashi comes in with her independent spirit. And if Papa Mashi can say a little bit. পাপা মাসি, তুমি কিভাবে সাপোর্ট করেছো সেটা বলো।
আমি সাপোর্ট সেরকম কিছু করিনি। I was so happy about it. I encouraged her a lot, and I told a lot of people how I felt. and that must have helped her, helped people to think the way I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And people are very, very, we get like a koto, 1,000, 1,200 people not a day, but Deona. It's like morning we get like 700, 600 people. Then in the evening they get like 1,200 people, and these are all. Most of them are Bengalis, and some of them are not Bengalis. And everybody get to see, and they think that way, that that it is very unusual thing to happen, and everybody was happy about it. Everybody.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah, I
was a
think what, yeah,
platform
sorry.
that, no problem. So we wanted to hear how you have encouraged her, Oita Ektu Ariktu. And I also want to know, is your Pujo the platform, where she did this?
Mhm.
So is it Mitra Nag's Pujo where you actually did this, or
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So I
So
think
Bengali
then
Association,
I
yeah,
think she can talk about that how
yeah,
she as a lady encouraged the other committee members to have a priestess amongst them.
yeah.
Go ahead, Mandavi.
Yeah. So what I can, what I know that the support, what I remember Papa Mashi doing is, it was important to spread the word before I, kind of start doing it. Right. I just land up on Shoshti Day. It was important to kind of spread the word and kind of build up that expectation from people and kind of test the waters, right? A little bit. So I think Papa Mashi was instrumental
Absolutely,
in that.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I think she kind of,
No, people,
yes, go ahead. Yeah.
like I was telling people, go and see. Well, not always everybody is going and seeing who's doing the pujo, because
Yes.
they're busy buying saris and this and that. So when and I'm very, very authoritative sometimes. I'm very, go, you guys go and see what Mandavi is doing. So they will go and say, what else she doing? She's the priest there. Go and see. So that's how like people start doing
Yeah.
things and all, because lots
Yeah.
of people will go, and they will not go to the pujo first. They will do other stuff, which we do too. I'm not saying that it's, as I said, it's a social gathering, more than, the pujo is part of it though. So everybody is
Yeah.
happy to see everybody. So
Yeah.
that was a great thing, that, everybody was thrilled.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
spreading the word is so important, because
Yeah.
without that and without the encouragement and the support of people around, you are
Yeah.
anyways afraid, because there are a lot of thoughts
Right.
going on in your
Yeah.
mind, and because
Yeah.
it's a completely new step and a very different step. I will not call
Hmm.
it a bold step. I will say it is a different step, which
It
is
is
why.
not my support,
Mm.
but definitely Utpal, who's a very well-known professor at UCLA,
Hmm.
and well-known chair and all. Utpal and his wife, they encouraged her a lot. They
Yeah.
are the
Uh-huh.
one who started it, and
Yeah.
I came
আমাদেরও
second, third or
আমাদেরও
something.
পুরুত
But
মশাই
those two definitely wanted her to do it.
হ্যাঁ
Yeah.
ইত্যাদির
So
মাঝে মাঝে
Dr.
কেটে যাচ্ছে। হুম।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ। So Dr. Utpal Banerjee আর ওনার স্ত্রী ঝম Ria Banerjee. So they were, they really wanted it, and but also Papa Mashi, how you kind of spread the word, right? You kind of built the expectation. I think that was what I was trying to get at. That like people were not just taken aback when they saw me. I mean, that would be a problem. So I think that was where both where Utpalda, Jom, and also Papa Mashi, did the groundwork.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I also wanted to know, why did Utpal Banerjee ask you?
So I think we were family friends, and
Okay.
he's although he's a brilliant scientist, but he's also a very spiritual person, and we had numerous discussions.
Ah.
He knew my spiritual inclinations, and he knew that not necessarily I was ritualistic, but he knew what my core was about, what my interests were. So I think that was probably the reason, I
Yeah,
assume.
sure.
Yeah. So that's how I so that was how I kind of that's how he
Started.
approached me. um and then in, like I said, there were those three things that kind of occupied me before I kind of took a decision to do it. One was the complexity and the fact that it was such an elaborate enterprise, enterprise, first of all, and the complexities of it were, were something that I had to be ready for that. And then number two, as I said, like the Sanskrit, the chanting of the mantras. As it is, I was taking, it would be a huge step in terms of social statement and breaking barriers and stuff. And and at Bengali Association of Southern California, the tradition is that যখন ওই মন্ত্রটা পড়া হয় তখন there's a microphone in front of it. It's not just mantra bole dawa hocche. So every mantra, not just anjali, somosto kichui priest microphone er moddhe bola hoy, so that it's audible to everyone, right? Which meant I needed to have my Sanskrit pronunciations done really well, and that was another challenge. I was like, how am I going to because that would be another avenue where people are going to so what was
evaluate you,
right? So because if it was another man, these issues wouldn't have come, right? But it was a woman taking this step, and it was important that I did my homework. I knew what I was getting into. It was important that I was, I kind of, that I covered all grounds, so that
how long did it really take for you to do this, to actually prepare yourself?
So I think I said let me think about it for like a week or two. And so those are and during that time, I think I kind of talked to my mom, I talked to my mother-in-law, and I'm like, should I even do this? And I was really surprised, that my mom said, no, absolutely, it is time. And my mother-in-law said the same thing, and I was like, whoa. I mean, that was pretty good. And so and then I kind of started kind of reading up on the process of Durga Pujo. আমি জানি না তোমরা জানো কিনা are you acquainted with new age Purohit Darpan?
No,
Yeah, so that is a huge and a very useful resource because eta na ekhane some grandparents whose grandchildren live here in the United States, and these are people from all walks of life. Some are scientists, some are sociologists, but who have a deep interest in scripture, and they want to pass on their heritage to their grandchildren. They have put together this awesome resource. It's called New Age Purohit Darpan. That was something that really helped me, because I didn't want to just chant mantras and not understand it. So that was, I think, something that was really useful in understanding the process of the pujo, in understanding why you do what you do, keno achamon kora hoy, keno sankalpo kora hoy, keno all these processes. So and I read up on that. And I think after I read that, and I said, what, I think I'll be able to do it, because I understood the process through that website. And I'll share, if you want, I can share that.
I think another friend of ours also would have been very interested in this whole conversation. Ajke nei shukonna. Why? Because Amra, we just did recently. So I have a very strong Pujo connect, because the entire Mohalar jeta actually Prothom Gan, that's been sung by my Dida. So Kumar Alor Benu has been sung by my Dida. So I have a very strong Pujo connect, and I am born on Shoptomi. That's my tithi. Ebar in fact Pujo shuru hocche on my birthday, which is so Pujo has kind of left an indelible print in my mind. Mane Durga Pujo mane ekta odbhut ekta spiritual connect, but as you're rightly saying, hoyto deeper ota kokhono porini, তো সুকন্যা ফর ইনস্টেন্স আমরা একটা খুব সুন্দর একটা শো করলাম যেখানে পুরো মানে চণ্ডী পাঠকে she read it out in Bangla, you know, and that is what she actually wanted. তো আমরা একটা এরকম একটা করলাম where, so I think it's probably also the hunger to know your own culture, your own tradition a lot more, which kind of leads us into this interesting and unique conversation.
Absolutely, you're completely right, and I think moving away from Bengal kind of pushes us towards it. Yeah, motivates us more towards understanding your heritage.
Absolutely. তো I think মিত্রাদি আপনার কাছ থেকে একটু জানতে চাই বা তোমার কাছ থেকে জানতে চাই about how you are part of this pujo, you have started this, I mean you are a part, and how you have what all have you created, and তারপরে এরকম একটা সুন্দর Mandavi কে নিয়ে, তো if you can tell us a little about that.
In fact, Shalini, just to add a point, if you can add, you are active in cultural activities of the Bengali Association Durga Pujo, in some of these fundraising activities for the association. So why don't you just if you can just share a little bit about what you do around that.
So what I do, প্রথম কথা আমি 84 এ যখন এলাম তখন we have a family friend who was here, আর তখন আমাকে আর স্বপনকে পুজোতে ঢুকিয়ে দিল, and we helped them in the kitchen and all. So after a few years we got involved, and তখন অনেক কম members ছিল, so we got involved. This is 1984 85, around that time.
মানে কত দিনকার পুজো, just to ask you how old
এইটা আমি এসেছিলাম 35 years 36 years ago. এটা তারও আগে অনেক, এটা হচ্ছে 47 years, I think 45 47 years old, তাই না রে মান্ডবী, isn't it?
আমি ঠিক exact date
হ্যাঁ 47 years BSc, হ্যাঁ 47 years তো হয়েছে, right.
And what is it called? What's the name?
The name of the association is Bengali Association of Southern California. And this is the oldest group or organization in Southern California. It is first start kore era. And so what happened is eshe tarpore to anyway tarpore once I got involved, I definitely they wanted me once, started in the executive committee te. এই কমিটিটা খালি পুজো খালি করতো না আমাদের, এটা আমাদের অন্য আদার কালচার গুলো হতো, কালচারাল প্রোগ্রাম, কালচারাল ফাংশন, এগুলো সবই হয়, আর পিকনিক হয় একটা, তারপরে সো এনিওয়ে তো ওর মধ্যে ঢুকলাম আমি। এরকম 4টে কমিটিতে করেছি ডিফারেন্ট টাইম। তো লাস্ট টাইম ওদের সেভারাল ইয়ার্স ব্যাক আমি তখন ইনভলভ হয়ে যাই। আর ওদের যেটা আমি আমার রোলটা ছিল, যেটা আমি করি নর্মালি, সেটা অনেক মেয়েরাও ইনভলভ থাকে এটাতে। এটা খালি ছেলেদের আকার না, এটা খালি মেয়েদেরও না, দিস ইজ ছেলে মেয়ে মিক্স, অবভিয়াসলি মেন আর মোর দ্যান দ্য উইমেন, ইয়া। আর আমি যেটা করি, I try to keep things in line, how to do the stuff in a proper way, ethics maintain করা, এগুলো আর কি। And then of course the cultural side, the food side, ওগুলো আছে। তো আমরা এটা অর্গানাইজ করি, আর এখানে আমাদের নাটক হয়, গান হয়, দেশ থেকে অনেক ডেফিনেটলি অনেক নানা রকম আমাদের আর্টিস্ট, বড় বড় আর্টিস্ট আসে। We raise a lot of money. The fundraising is a big thing here. So মানে যারা well to do তারা একটু বেশি দেয়, যারা not so well to do তারা একটা নর্মাল দেয়, সব মিলিয়ে we raise a good amount of fund. আর তো BSc was like it's fun for us. আমরা আমি 36 years I haven't missed Kolkata Pujo because we got so involved. এত আনন্দ করি আমরা, লক্ষ্মী পুজো হয়, সরস্বতী পুজো হয়, তো it is like it's a family, everybody is like a family.
বলো এবারের মুড কিরকম পুজোতে, এবার কি হচ্ছে?
কিছুই হচ্ছে না, এরা খালি বলছে যে একটা দুদিনের জন্য বছর আমাদের ঠাকুর বার করা, ঠাকুর বার করে দুদিনের জন্য একটা পুজো হবে। আর তারপরে এখান থেকে আর কিছু ভার্চুয়াল গান একটা অর্গানাইজ করবে ওরা, কি কিছু লোক আর্টিস্ট দিয়ে করবে, কারণ আইতে কিছু হবে না, মানে কোনো জায়গায় কিছু হবে না। And I don't know about Valley, Mandavi also now have pujo. It's not only Bengali association, there are different pujos, and Mandavi is also involved with one of the pujos in her area.
তো এবার সে এখানেও তাই ওই একটা ছোট করে পুজো হবে এবং they are thinking of you know kind of I think there'll be a live telecast of that so the members can watch the pujo at least হ্যাঁ তো ওটা হবে ওই পুরোহিত বসে করবে আর সবাই they can log in and watch the pujo আর কিছু বাইরের আর্টিস্টদের আনা হবে তারা কিছু প্রোগ্রাম করবে বাট
এভরিথিং ইজ অনলাইন আর না মানে তো এবার কি মূর্তি করা হচ্ছে মানে ওগুলো কিছু স্পেসিফিকেশনস দিয়ে দিয়েছে ক্যালিফোর্নিয়াতে
না আমাদের এখানে যেটা হয় কারণ আমাদের এখানে তো মূর্তি আনানো খুব একটা মানে সাংঘাতিক একটা মুশকিলের ব্যাপার তো আমাদের we actually use the same মূর্তি
আচ্ছা ওকে
হ্যাঁ তো আমাদের নতুন মূর্তি সবসময় আসে না কোথাওই না
কয়েক বছর পরে পরে চেঞ্জ হয় মূর্তিগুলো কারণ ইটস নট পসিবল টু হ্যাভ মূর্তি
একদম তো সেটা কি করে ওটা মানে একবারই ওটা কলকাতা থেকেই আসে যখন আসে
হ্যাঁ কলকাতা থেকে নিয়ে আসা হয় কিন্তু নিয়ে আসাটা বুঝতে পারছো খুব সময় সাপেক্ষ তারপরে it costs
costly
yeah very costly as well so সেই জন্য মানে ওই স্টোরেজে রাখা হয় বা কারো বাড়িতে রাখা হয় তারপরে আবার মাকে বার করে আবার
ওকে 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 ও ইন্টারেস্টিং কারণ আমি শুনেছি ওখানে একটা মানে উইকেন্ড সেলিব্রেশন হয় রাদার দেন doing
we don't get vacations or holidays on those days so what happens is we try to do it on the weekend
correct
so weekend ta hoy
so tar mane luckily you have your pratima there with you which is very nice and that is as per the size
সেটা আমাদের ভাষণ দেওয়া খুব মুশকিল এখানে মানে ভাষণ দেওয়া জলে ফেলাটাও কোথাও মানে পারমিট লাগে করে করতে হয়
আর এনভায়রনমেন্ট এলিমেন্টস অনেক কিছু আছে
হ্যাঁ
এখানে রুলস আছে তো অনেক সেটা হয় না আরেকটা যেটা আমি বলছিলাম যে আমাদের যখন ফান্ড রেজিং গুলো হয় তোমরা কি করে করো আমি জানি না উই হ্যাভ টু ফান্ড রেজ মানে কি আমাদের ডোনেশন চার্জ দিতে হয় লোককে তো আমাদের যে ডোনেশন এক্সট্রা হয় আমরা সেগুলোকে আবার উই ট্রাই টু লাইক একবার আমফানে দিলাম কোভিডে দিলাম আমরা নিজেরা তুলে তারপরে বেঙ্গল অ্যাসোসিয়েশন থেকে সেটা কিছুটা ম্যাচ করে তো সেটাও পারে অ্যাসোসিয়েশন থেকে তো সেগুলো হয় আমাদের
আর আমাদের পুজোটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা শুরু করেছি ইন আ ভেরি গুড প্লেস ইন দি সাবার্বস আর এই লোকনওয়ালার একটা আমরা ব্যাক রোডে শুরু করেছি তো ওখানে অটোমেটিক্যালি এত লোক আসে আর এত মানে এক্স্যাক্টলি লাইক ইউ পয়েন্টেড অ্যাবাউট দ্য ভ্যালি বেঙ্গলি আমাদেরও ওরকম একটা বড় পুজো আমাদের পাশে হয় যেটা বিশাল বড় তো অনেকে ওই বড় পুজো থেকে হয়তো দেখতে পাচ্ছে না বা হোয়াট এভার রিজনস ওরা আমাদের এখানে আসে তো প্রচুর বাঙালি তো আমার মনে হয় ওয়াই ডোন্ট উই ডু আ লিটল বিট অফ আ ডেমো অফ একটু আমরা maybe we can hear you Mandavi কোন joke that you want to talk about and তারপরে I can just end with a line of two of Bajra Tomar maybe because that's the puja mood so we are stepping into pujo
আমার as you know that I আমি বললাম যে Sanskrit was I didn't really learn Sanskrit as such আমার হিন্দি ছিল third language right সবার
okay
so Sanskrit was a challenge when I took this up but thankfully with new age Purohit Darpan I was able to understand কারণ আমার মনে হয় মন্ত্র ওই না বুঝে বলাটা তো সুতরাং ওটার থেকে ওটা থাকাতে সুবিধা হয়েছিল তো ঠিক আছে আমি একটু বলছি আমি মানে খুব পারদর্শী নয় and so I'll okay আমি একটু বলছি just a second let me Om jatajuta samajyuktam ardhendu kritashekharam lochanatraya samayuktam ardhendu kritashekharam atashi pushpo varnabham supratistham shulochanam Nava Jovana Shampanam Sharbhabharana Bhushitam Shucharu Dashanang Tadvat Pyonnata Payodharam Tribhanga sthana shansthanam mahishasuramardinim mrinalayata shamasparsha dashabahu shamannitam trishulam dakshine dhayam kharagam chakram kramadadha. Should I say it again?
Now you can just explain the meaning ektu.
Acha. ঠিক আছে. So forehead like the half moon, face like the full moon. Her color is like the otoshi flower, with beautiful eyes. She is full with youth and decked all over with exquisite jewels. Her teeth are beautifully set and sharp. Her breasts are full. Standing gracefully on three bends, she's killing the demon Mahishasur. Like the stalks of the lotus, long and gentle, are her 10 arms. On the top right arm is the trident. Under that is the axe or sword.
Wow.
The lowest two arms hold sharp arrow and thunderbolt. On the left at the bottom, she holds the leather shield. Over that is the bow, and then is the serpent. Above that is the hook. At the top is the bell or the axe. At goddess's feet is the sheared head of the demon.
Wow.
Very good. Very nice. Excellent.
Beautiful.
So it's like it's পুজোটাকে আমরা একদম নিজেদের মতো করে করি। এখানে কোনো বাইরের লোক নেই, কোনো বাইরের লোক নেই। মানে পুজোর ডেকোরেটরও নেই, পুরোহিতও নেই, নিজেরাই যারা সব প্রফেসর, ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স এন্ড অল দে ডু দ্য পুজো। আর আমরা পুজোর যত হেল্প করার করি। রান্না তো আমরা আগে করতাম, আজকাল রান্নাগুলো আমরা অর্ডার দিই। বাট রান্না আমরা বহু বছর ধরে, আমি তো ডেফিনেটলি হেড কুক ছিলাম ফর এ লং টাইম, করতাম সব বন্ধুরা মিলে, সবাই, স্বপন আমার হাজবেন্ডও করতো, সবাই রান্না বান্না করা হতো। সেটা বন্ধ হয়েছে, সেটা আমরাই একটা কমিটি থেকে একবার বন্ধ করে we started getting the orders and the food are coming from outside. So এরকম আর কি।
So definitely, in fact, Pujo is all about bringing all of us together, and it is a মানে community bonding, আর সবাই একসাথে আমরা মানে হাসি ঠাট্টা ঝগড়া সব হয়, আর সব খুব ভীষণ মজা হয় তাতে, you know, and then we are all together. That's the whole fun of Pujo. আর সবাই তখন ওই মানে 5 দিন absolutely নিজেদের মতো করে, কোনো বাড়িতে আমরা তখন রান্না করি না, সবকিছু আমাদের প্যান্ডেলই হয়, আমাদের মানে
শালিনী এই পুজো গন্ধ, এই ব্যাপারটাই আসে from this whole community coming together.
So আমার বাড়িতে অনেক এরকম আমাদের স্বনির্ভরের একটা হতো। স্বনির্ভর was an organization where I was involved, which was a NGO in Kolkata near Barasta. So 20 years I raised funds for them. And once a year we will have some Bengali as well as the local people, local American people will come, they donate and then eat. There will be a dance, there will be, you know, programs will be there, mainly with the local, you know, young kids or local singer or local musician will do that. So ওরকম আমরা অনেক করেছি fundraise. আমি করেছি, I'm very involved in all those things. Yeah.
Very nice.
Enjoy করতাম।
So do you also sing?
এখন করেছি।
Do you also sing?
Huh?
Do you also sing?
No, I don't sing. I don't sing. Mandavi, I don't sing at all.
Acha, okay.
Let's have a I think this has been a wonderful interaction, and মজার কত গল্প শোনা গেল। আরো হয়তো সময় থাকলে আরে অনেক গল্প করা যেত। শালিনী, তোর একটা গান দিয়ে I would really like to conclude it, and I think তোর তুই আলোর বেলুটাই কর, খুব সুন্দর করিস তুই ওটা।
So anyway, so that is আমার দিদার গান, তো এই জন্যে, you know, during this lockdown, one important thing which I took up is definitely, apart from my busy corporate life, যে কখনো দিদার অনেক গান আমি ভালো করে শিখিনি। So that is something that I started doing. Of course, এই গানটা তো জানতামই, সারাক্ষণ দিদার সাথেও গাইতাম, but I learned a lot of other songs of hers, and she's another extremely prolific singer. So I don't know if I can do justice. আমি ছোট্ট করে একটু গাইছি because পুজো আসছে, and you know, we are talking here about পুজো. বাজলো তোমার আলোর বেণু, মাতলো যে ভুবন, বাজলো তোমার আলোর বেণু। আজ প্রভাতী শিশুর শুনে কুলি দিল মন, বাজলো 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 তোমার আলোর বেণু। I think, yeah, with that, সবাই পুজো ভালো কাটুক, safe katuk, and let's all remain together, stay connected. That's all I would say. Any parting lines that you
ভালো
want?
লাগলো শালিনী, lovely.
ভীষণ সুন্দর, খুব ভালো লাগলো। পুজো যেন তুমি যেন আমাদের বাড়িতে পুজো এনে দিলে।
Thank you.
খুব ভালো লাগলো।
Thank you.
আর তোমাদের এটা বেস্ট অফ লাক তোমাদের পুজোর জন্য, and do better and better every year. আমাদের all the best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.